For the last few years, to make a little bit of extra money, I have been selling things online. And one thing I've noticed has sold really well are bridesmaids dresses. I have 4 younger sisters, so I've listed a lot of our bridesmaids dresses, and they've all sold for between $50 and $90. So last year, I decided to create a Poshmark store specifically for bridesmaids dresses. And since then, I have bought over 200 bridesmaids dresses. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you where I got all these dresses from, as well as 5 pros and 4 cons of selling bridesmaids dresses. All right, it is finally time for me to tell you guys all of the details of the bridesmaid dress store, the bridesmaid dress accumulation, everything that you guys want to know about my bridesmaid dress experience. So first, let me elaborate on the why. Why did I create a store just for bridesmaids dresses? So, as I said in the intro, I have been listing things online for a few years now, mostly clothing and shoes. And about a year and a half ago, I was analyzing the data for the things I had sold. And one thing that jumped out were bridesmaids dresses because their average sale price was like $70, which is quite a bit higher than the average sale price of my store as a whole. The dresses I had sold up to that point were a few dresses from my own from being in weddings, and then some from my sisters. And I also had picked up a few from thrift stores. And again, I was selling them for like an average of $70. So I decided at that time I was gonna create a store just for bridesmaids dresses. So I have my main store, which is Dressed by Amber, where I list anything and everything. And then I have a second Poshmark store that is called Wing Woman Bridal, where I list only bridesmaids dresses. So again, I created that store like last summer, and that was during the peak of COVID. So there weren't a lot of weddings happening, but there were still some, and I was still selling some bridesmaids dresses. And I started buying them mostly online. So I found different places online where I could buy used bridesmaids dresses. Sometimes I would buy them from other people on Poshmark or on Facebook Marketplace. So again, I was buying pre-owned bridesmaids dresses. Also just starting to tell people that I was selling bridesmaids dresses. I bet a lot of you watching have bridesmaids dresses in your closet. So I would just mention it to people, friends or whoever, that and they were just sitting there not getting used, so they would sell them to me. I mentioned it to like my hairstylist. He happened to have some bridesmaids dresses. So just telling people, I accumulated a bunch of the dresses. So that is how I sourced for the first like 6 months after I opened the store. And during that 6 months was also a time in my life where I wasn't actually listing much or selling much because we had this big windstorm come through, knocked down a ton of trees, pulled out the electrical from our house, created a ton of work basically. I was studying for my last actuarial exam, which was basically 3 months of my life devoted to that. And then I had COVID. So I was buying stuff, but I wasn't listing, which led to accumulation. Then in January of this year, so January 2021, I saw that a bridal store was going out of business, and they posted on Facebook that they were having a bag sale. So this is a pretty interesting story. Like, I thought about making a whole video just about this, but decided to throw it in here. So I saw that they posted they were having a bag sale. And usually when I've gone to bag sales, it's like fill a bag for $5. And I was like, this could be a perfect opportunity to get a bunch of bridesmaids dresses for really low prices and, you know, pay $5 a bag. That's what I've seen before. So I was debating. I was like, do I go to the store and just start stuffing bags full and go to the checkout with like 20 bags of bridesmaids dresses? Or do I contact the owner and see if she would make a deal with me, and maybe she would even do a better deal if I bought everything or a lot of them. Like, I didn't know how many she had. So I emailed the owner, and she emailed me back and said that she would definitely be interested in possibly selling them in bulk. So I went to her store, and let me tell you, my heart was racing on the drive to the store because I'm like, how many dresses am I gonna buy? Should I do this? Like, I didn't have this many at that time, but I still, you know, I had maybe 50 at home that I hadn't listed, and I had listed some, but I still had a decent amount unlisted, and I'm like, should I do this? How much should I pay for them? Will it be worth it? I'm like, well, at least they're new. They're not pre-owned, so I don't have to, you know, stain treat them and things like that. So I get to the store and I see the sign that says $90 a bag. And I'm like, oh no, we are not gonna be close on the numbers that we're thinking. Because if it's basically $90 a dress, because that's about all you can fit in one of the bags. And my sourcing cost, I try to keep under 20 per dress. So anyways, I talked to her. She takes me to the back room where she has 65 dresses pulled that are dresses she is willing to part with in bulk. And yeah, 65 dresses pulled. And so I start looking at them and I ask her like what she's thinking for a price. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking less than $20, I'm in. Even if it's a little bit more than 20, we'll see. And she says $60 a dress. And I'm thinking, well, they are new. Maybe they're worth it. I don't really know. And she can sense the hesitancy. And I tell her, basically what I said was, I want to take a sample of 6 dresses, write down the style, write down the brand, and write down the color, and then go research them. And then I will let you know. So yeah, so I said that, and then she's like, well, you know, I could go lower, maybe like 45 or 50 per dress. So I write down the 6 examples and I leave and I go home and research, and they were terrible. The comps were like $10 to $30. So like there's a sign right there, not all bridesmaid dresses do well. But I also knew from the experience I already had. So at that point I probably had listed like 70 in the store. So I had some experience with more dresses than just the ones from my original store. But anyways, what I'm saying is I knew from experience that I was able to get a little bit more than a lot of people did because I had better pictures, you know, I disclosed all the stains, things like that. So I'm thinking, okay, 10 to 30, but you know, I can probably get a little bit more than that. What I told her was, I don't want to offend you, but the best I could do would be $15 a dress. And then I'm thinking, even if I sold them for 30 each, I would still profit, and I'm hoping I can actually get more than that. So I told her the best I could do would be $15 each. Oh, and also they were new, whereas the comps, a lot of them were used. So I said, best I can do is $15 each. And she responded back and was like, no way I can go down to $15 each. I could easily sell them at the store for $50 each. I paid $125 each. She was angry, which honestly I wasn't surprised. And I was second guessing myself, but I just stuck with like, so she said, you know, I could easily sell them for $50 each in the store. I paid $125 for them. No way I'm selling them to you for $15. And so I responded back to her and was just like, that's no problem at all. I totally understand. Like, definitely, if I could sell something for $50, I would sell it for $50. I don't know what I said exactly, but then I said, like, if you ever end up changing your mind, let me know. Like, I would pay $15 each for those dresses. So fast forward a couple months, she messages me again and says, I have like 30, I think she had 30 left of the 65. If you wanted them for $15 each, I would do that. And then she said, I've also pulled some more dresses that I would sell to you for $15 each. So I go to the store and I buy the dresses that I had seen before for $15 each. And she showed me the other dresses she had pulled for me. You guys, these dresses were terrible. Every single dress, it either had a major flaw, like a tear in the dress or a big stain, or it was clearly outdated. Like, there are certain styles that nobody is buying anymore. If you have like a massive bow and a big ruffle, I don't know, they're just not in style. And so I looked through these dresses and she's like, being a saleswoman, you know, telling me how good of a deal it is, how great these dresses are. And I'm like, they have flaws and they're really out of date. I'm not interested. In my mind, I'm like, no way. But I said something nicely. But I did buy 33 dresses from her for $15 each. And in like January, I guess I bought them in January. So somewhere around that time, I listed 3 of them to, you know, get some listings up and see how they did. It is now like 10 months later and only 1 has sold. So I listed 2 of them at $50, 1 at $80. The one at $80 was, I think, still for sale on their website, and a style that I think is more popular. But one of the $50 ones, I got an offer a month ago. Yeah, so in October, I got an offer for $30 and I accepted. So I sold 1 for $30 of the 3, and the others aren't listed yet. So for those of you watching me like, girl, how do you have this much unlisted? As I talked about in my last video, I had some other priorities that I was focusing on. I have gotten those things done now. And so now the bridesmaid dresses are my priority, and that's part of why I am uploading this video. Okay, that was a lot, but that is the story, and it was a really interesting experience to negotiate with somebody and to just like see the competing priorities, like her or mindsets too. Like her mindset was, I paid $125, I can sell these for $50 each at my store. And my mindset was, the sold comps are averaging like $15 to $20, and like I cannot pay more than that and be confident that they'll sell. So yeah, it was a very interesting experience. All right, let's keep going. So that's how I got 180 dresses. I got 33 from her, and I got the rest from friends and family, and then buying at thrift stores, garage sales, buying them online. So that's how I accumulated so many dresses. And again, I tried to keep my buy price below $20 a dress. Next, let's get into the pros and the cons of bridesmaid dresses that I have learned so far. So far I have listed 80 dresses and I have sold 46 of them. And now that these are a priority, I hopefully will be getting up a lot more dresses and getting even more experience with bridesmaid dresses. So pros. The first pro, as I've already alluded to, is the high average sale price relative to other items that I've sold. So of the, how many did I say I'd sold so far? Of the 46 that I've sold in my bridesmaid dress store, the average sale price was $53. So that's a little bit lower than my original store, but I've been trying new things. So I've been trying more brands, trying more styles, trying to see what sells well. And I think over time that average sale price should increase as I continue to learn, like, these styles sell much better than others, these colors sell better, these lengths sell better, these fabrics sell better. And then I'll be able to improve my average sale price as I put up items that are more in demand. So that's number one, is the higher average sale price than other items I've sold. Number two pro of selling dresses is more full price sales. So I definitely have more full price sales in my bridesmaid dress store than I do in my other store. I think this is caused by a couple things. One is that I often have guest buyers, which means it's probably somebody just Googling, looking for a certain style, a certain color. They find the listing on Poshmark and they just buy it. They don't know that the culture on Poshmark is to send an offer, so they just find the dress, they send me an offer. The other possible reason is that I've had people sometimes where they cannot find any other dress online that is what they need, and so they are willing to pay full price to just get it to them. And sometimes it's like, I need this dress in 2 weeks, this is exactly what I need, so they just order it. They don't even bother to negotiate because they don't want to take the chance they lose the dress. So that's happened a couple times. There was once where the girl was like, my bride chose a color that's not even sold anymore, and this is the only one I can find online in my size. I'm so glad you have it. So anyways, there's examples like that where people just want to make sure they get the dress, so they pay full price and that's it. So that's another nice thing. Number three, availability of inventory. So as I've already said, I had no problem accumulating inventory and getting lots of dresses to list online. Number four is that because I am focusing on such a specific niche in this store, it allows me to develop a deep knowledge of that one category. So again, what styles sell well, what brands sell well. And then also, if I figure out the SEO, which I need to put more time into, but I can adjust it on every listing. So if I figure out whenever I write the title like this, I get more sales, or whenever I include this keyword, I get more sales. So I'll be able to, anything I learn, I can apply to all of the listings. The fifth pro is that I can create a brand. So my main store, everything is in it. So it's hard to tell people, you know, if you're looking for this, go to my store, or if you're looking for this, go to my store. But with the bridesmaid dress store, it's very easy to tell people, hey, I'm selling bridesmaid dresses and I'm buying bridesmaid dresses. So if you have some to sell, or if you're looking to buy one, check out my store. So again, it creates a lot, it's a lot easier to market, both from the buying and the selling perspective. Now let's get into the cons for which I only have 4 on the list, but they are big cons, which I have fully come to realize. Okay, the first one, and one of the biggest, is the cleanliness, or I should say lack of cleanliness, of pre-owned bridesmaids dresses. So when I buy dresses online, I would say 9 out of 10 have flaws that are not disclosed. 9 out of 10 is what I would say. So when people buy bridesmaid dresses, they wear it for one night. Like every time I've worn a bridesmaid dress, somebody spilled beer on me. Like inevitably, maybe I spilled beer on myself when I'm dancing, I don't know, but somebody spills beer on me at some point. So there are typically stains on the dresses. You wear it for one night, so a lot of people don't get them dry cleaned. And they're not made to last a long time because again, they're only expected to be worn for one night. So typically when I get dresses, they'll have some stains on them. The hem might have problems, like some of the thread might be coming undone. So that is definitely one of the biggest cons of selling pre-owned bridesmaid dresses. The first while after I created the store, I spent time just trying to figure out how to clean bridesmaid dresses. I considered trying to make a deal with a dry cleaner, but then that increases my cost again. And I think the ones I looked at were like $40 a dress, which obviously that's not even feasible. If I'm selling them for an average of 70 or 80 and I'm buying them for less than 20, I cannot put another 20 into cleaning them. So yeah, so I tried out like 5 or 6 methods. I finally figured out one that worked. Essentially OxyClean is the answer. OxyClean works. And yeah, so I tried out quite a few methods till I finally found one that worked for me. And now I can clean dresses, but you still have the problem with hem wear or alterations. Another thing that I found really interesting, and not in a good way, is a lot of the times dresses that have tags on them are not new. Like especially when you're buying them from other people. Probably 50% of the dresses I buy online that say new with tags, they have the tags on them. Oh, that's out of the frame. Here's one. They have the tags on them, but they're not actually new. So some people, I think they just wear the dress with the tags still on, then they sell it as new with tags even though they did wear it. And again, like 50% of the dresses I get with tags on them are not actually new with tags. Again, my buy cost is below $20, so probably that has something to do with the cost of the dresses I'm buying, that even if they're advertised as new with tags, if they're selling them for that low, it's a red flag that they're not actually brand new. But anyways, that's something else that surprised me, is that the majority of the time, even if they say new with tags, they're actually already been worn before. Number 2 con is measurements and alterations. So often when people wear bridesmaid dresses, they get the dress altered. So just like with the stains and the hem wear, you also have to keep an eye out for alterations. So there's a lot of details you have to look for. You have to look over the dress and look for flaws and look for possible alteration to the dress. You also have to post a lot of measurements because people are buying these online and they're not sure if they'll fit them. So that is definitely another con. Con number 3 is that it is a long tail product. There is a long turnaround time. The average time it has taken me to sell a dress is about 6 months if I had to guess. I need to start tracking things a little bit better, but my gut instinct is it's about a 6-month turnaround on average for a bridesmaid dress sale. So that's a long time to be sitting on inventory for me. Like with my other store, I like to sell stuff ideally like less than a month. Although obviously some items take longer, but a lot of my items sell in less than a month. So 6 months on average is a lot longer turnaround time, a lot longer that things are sitting in inventory, a lot longer that you're sharing the listings. And then the 4th con is I found that I have more upset buyers. So in my main store, I looked up the stats this morning. I've had 24 ratings that were below 5 stars, and I've had 802 ratings that are 5 stars. So that comes out to 3% of my ratings are below 5 stars. In my bridesmaid dress store, I've had 32 5-star ratings and I've had 3 non-5-star ratings, which is a 9% rate of people giving me less than 5 stars. And the other thing is that in my main store, when someone gives me less than 5 stars, it's often been like a 4-star rating and it says boots were a little tight or something like that, like a small issue. But in my bridesmaid dress store, the people who have given me bad ratings are angry. Like there's more emotion involved. So the one person wrote like, this dress was covered in stains and it was not disclosed. I try my best. I don't know what exactly she was looking at that I didn't see, but she was like livid. And then another girl, so another of the 3 people who wasn't happy, said like, this dress clearly been altered. The bust was totally different size than I thought it was gonna be. Again, I put measurements, I put the sizing chart, but I just feel like on my main store, when people are less happy than the 5-star reviews, it's just a small thing. But in my bridesmaid dress store, the few unhappy people I've had are very unhappy, and it makes me feel really bad because I want people to be happy, especially if they're, you know, spending $70, they're buying this for a special occasion. And so I feel more upset when I have an upset buyer. So those are the 4 cons and the 5 pros that I've found so far of listing bridesmaids dresses. So let me know what you guys thoughts are. What did you think about the whole negotiating situation with the bridesmaids or the bridal store owner? What did you think about the pros and cons? I feel like some people might be asking in the comments, so how do you really feel overall after, you know, the pros and the cons? And I don't know, I think my feeling at the moment is just feeling a little overwhelmed because I have so many to list. So like I said, I have like 80 in my bridesmaid dress store that have been listed, and I have 180 that haven't been listed. So I feel a bit overwhelmed by how many I need to list, how many I need to stain treat, how many I need to look over for flaws, take measurements of. So I think I just need to break it down into a smaller goal per week and then get through them. And then I think I will start to enjoy it more because I will just get to have the sales coming in and I can buy and actually keep up with my listings, because I won't have the craziness that I had in 2020 where I got the backlog of inventory. All right, I have talked a lot. I hope you guys found this video interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you found it interesting. And if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing and you can see more videos from me. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned because as always, I'll have a new video out soon.